productivity, winning strategies, and aligning employer-employee goals. If this sounds like something your business could use more of, then you've come to the right place. The Business Mechanic Show with your host, Vaughn Sigmund. Let Vaughn show you how to develop, improve, and jumpstart your business. So now, please welcome the host of The Business Mechanic, Vaughn Sigmund.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Business Mechanic Show. This is your host, Vaughn Sigmund. In today's podcast,
I'm going to share with you the best practices, the tips, and the appropriate mindset for being able to develop your team members. Right off the top, I want to make sure there's a distinction between what is training and what is developing. Let me clear that up from a nomenclature standpoint. Training is teaching someone how to perform the specific task, duties of just their job. What are the policies? What are the procedures? What's the software? How do you use that? What are the protocols, etc.? That's training. That's teaching somebody to do a job. In this course, we're talking about developing your team members, which involves taking your efforts, your skills, your knowledge, imparting that in a mentoring approach to start building the knowledge and skills of select employees who work with you. So some of the key points we're going to cover in this course are: success is a destination. It's a destination for you. It's the destination for your employees. And it's certainly a destination for your company. And no matter how good you are, you're only going to be as good as the people who you're surrounded with. No matter what business you're in the people business. You can have the best processes in the world. You can have the best products in the world. If you don't have suitably motivated, engaged, and developed team members who can step in, step up whenever needed, if you're not developing your replacement to some level, you're holding yourself, your team, and your company back. And I'm sure there's nobody taking this training that has that mindset, but I do want to make that point with you. One of the most important jobs you have is to develop those who report to you, not train, develop. Let me ask you a couple quick questions. Are you a manager that feels really overworked because, I just don't have anybody to delegate to? There's nobody else can do what I do. So it all falls on me. And when it gets real around here, I'm the one that's got to pick up the slack and get it all done. Are you one of those managers? Let me ask you another question. You ever come back from vacation feeling really overwhelmed because, a lot of things went wrong while you were gone? Things didn't get done. There was drama. There was things that just failed while you were gone. There's a pile of email and duties and work. In fact, you dread even going on vacation because of the onslaught of additional work you're going to come back to from vacation. Do you ever experience that, or are you experiencing that sensation, that feeling? Would you like to be promoted someday? Would you not like to get to the next level? Would you look at your boss maybe in your organization, depending on who you're reporting to, but would at some point, either in this career or a future career with another company even, would you like to get to the next level, but just don't have anybody who could replace you if in fact that opening occurred? Last question I'm going to ask you. Do you ever have the thought that I'm the only one around here that knows how to do anything? If it's not me doing it, it just gets done wrong. You ever feel like that? Some of you do, some of you don't. I just want to plant those seeds because this course will help eliminate, at worst reduce, but at best eliminate all those sensations so that you don't feel overworked. You can work your regular shift and you've got other people picking up the slack when things get crunch time around your place, that other people can step in and fill in roles that they haven't filled in before, that you've had to fill in the past, that you can come back from vacations and time off feeling like everything's taken care of. They didn't miss me a bit. You know, maybe even one of your employees comes up and say, oh gosh, we didn't miss you at all. That's actually a huge compliment to you. That's one of the goals you want to strive to achieve. When the promotion comes around and your boss is looking at who might or might not be able to be promoted, you've got 2 or 3 people they can choose from. So it makes you being promoted a no-brainer. Wouldn't that be a nice thing to have? And especially being able to spend the time, invest your time in your people so that you don't have to do everything. You don't feel compelled or pressured that you're the only one that can do specific, if not most of the tasks you're doing. That's what all this is about. It's the payback is huge. The ROI on your personal frustration, stress level, advancement in your career is gigantic. The contribution to your employees is huge. They're going to love you for taking the time with them. They're going to respect you so much for taking the time and offering the opportunity to learn and grow, to advance themselves. And your company is going to appreciate it. It's going to be a huge ROI for them because they're building this huge bank of talented people who are prepared to move to the next level as growth requires. That's what this course is about. So let me just ask you to think about for a minute, maybe you're either your current boss or a past boss that you really respected, that you really loved working for. When I ask that question in interviews, it almost always comes back. It's somebody they reported to that took them under their wings, showed them how to do things other than just their normal day in and day out task, help them develop skill sets, knowledge that expanded their ability to grow within the organization and even advance their career in other organizations. They have the most respect for those bosses who are trainers, developers, high levels of accountability, but very fair, and allowed them to try things, do things with the patience to practice and get better at it, allowed them to make mistakes because they knew they weren't going to be perfect at it, but this great boss took that into account as they were developing the individual I'm speaking of, maybe you, as you were advancing your career. Those are the most respected bosses by far. The bosses who are not so respected are the ones that keep everything to themselves, don't delegate, are micromanagers, are highly stressed all the time, poor communicators, poor at time management. You may have worked for one of them in the past too. So during this course, we're going to talk about the 5 secrets of developing your team members. And as I say often, every employee that comes to work for you, your company every day, wants to come and do a good job. They just need to know what their job is, right? They need to know what's expected of them, which we've talked about in the previous course. And then they want to be developed. They want to learn and grow. Nobody wants to come to work and maintain the status quo of their knowledge and skills. They may want to do the same thing every day, but keep advancing their skill sets, get better at it, maybe add some more things to their plate. They take a lot of pride in going home at night and saying, you know what my boss did today? They taught me to start doing this. And it starts building that connection of respect and appreciation between you and your selected team members. Because a better trained and developed workforce in the end creates a huge increase in output for your organization in big ways. So let's start talking about the no-brainer of all of this. Is if you're going to invest the significant time that it takes, and it is a significant amount of time that you have to invest in developing your team members, choose the right ones. You've got to know who is worth that investment. Who are you going to get the payback from? But how do you know that? Let's talk about that. Your available time is limited. You've got a lot going on. Part of getting really good and practicing the skill sets that you're going to learn in this course will reduce how busy you are, because others will be able to take on some of that workload, or you will eliminate at the root cause some of the challenges that cause your busyness. And the more you surround yourself with the right people, the less stress and long hours you're going to be working. However, you may be at this point in the course with me and say, well, hold on, I really don't have anybody I could trust at this point to develop. Okay, that's fine. When you think back to the course previous, where we talked about recruiting and hiring great people, start thinking about your behavior-based interviews with the traits and skills that we're going to cover in just a few minutes. Start looking for more of those individuals. Start thinking about hiring not somebody to fill the current role, but looking at what this person has the potential of doing 2, 3, 5 years down the road. You take a different view of the individuals you're hiring, and in time, you will have the right people that you can trust, that have the skill set for you to invest that time. It might not be now, but it can't be no. It's going to be sometime in the future. So if you don't have them now, as turnover occurs, as new employees come in your interviewing and selection process, be thinking about the skill sets, the traits I'm going to be sharing with you in just a second. However, you want to take a quick inventory, and we're going to talk about that with your current base of employees, direct reports, and see who you can pick out that has some of these that are listed, that has exceptional communication skills. Every team has a leader outside of you. And that leader typically has pretty good communication skills. They may not be loud and boisterous and use their hands like I do all the time, but people listen when they talk. That's what you're looking for. When they say something, people are paying attention to it. They're attracted to the information that your key employees have. That's one of the traits you're looking for. Someone who's decisive, that's not constantly coming to you and asking you what to do or how to do something. They generally can figure things out on their own, or they are able to go to the appropriate resources to get the answers. That they make good decisions, they have good judgment. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They don't make goofy mistakes and dumb decisions. They generally, and we're all guilty of that from time to time, but they generally make really good decisions in the role they're in. And that's a great indicator of the kind of decision-making skills they'll have when they move to the next level as you develop them. Do they take initiative? Are they somebody that you have to push all the time? Or really what you're looking for is somebody that every now and then you got to hold them back. These are the people that you're looking for, the people who are driven, who want to get things done, maybe with more energy and sense of urgency than sometimes it's called for. I love those folks. But you have to pull them back a little bit. That's that initiative. They see things and they take care of things. They're the people that walk into the break room and it's messy and they say, and they take care of it. They get everything cleaned up and thrown away. They're the ones at the meetings that come up with the ideas. They raise their hand with good ideas and share their opinions. Or you see them taking the initiative to help people who are struggling, who are their coworkers. That's the kind of person you're looking for. Ones that are emotionally level, that they can handle stress. Sure, we all have our ups and downs, but some people don't adapt under stress to a negative behavior. That's what you're looking for. This natural born leader, which all these things are descriptors of, that they essentially have some planning and organization skills. They're fairly organized. They stop, they think before they act. That they buy into making a plan for things, that they help you plan for things. Someone who listens, someone who maybe even is the person that the team comes to with concerns, maybe complaints. And that person comes to you in a very reasonable approach and lets you know what's going on. That insider information that is so valuable to you. They're not Chicken Little. The sky's not falling all the time, but they're feeding you information from the team from time to time. They're not a gossip, but hey, boss, did you know that such and such is struggling at home, or so-and-so's a dog just died, or so-and-so is really bugging everybody out there because of their fill in the blank. That kind of information, just to give you heads up, so you're keeping a hand in what's happening with your team. If you're the only one that thinks you know what's going on with all your team, you're dead wrong. The others know much more than you do. Who's that person that's feeding you that information, if you have them? And then last, and there's a long list. You're going to have to come up with your list. This is a starter list. But who works really well as a teammate? Who is a good team member? Who's a good team leader? Who's a good part of a team? Who helps their other teammates out? With you being a part of that team, who's willing to help you out from time to time? That great employee that steps in your time of need. That's the one that volunteers to work the extra hours or the weekends when the need is required. That's a good team member. That's the kind of person that you're looking for. We'll move on from that. In our next video, we're going to talk about, all right, let's look at your team members. Let's look at where you would like to take them career-wise and do an analysis of what they are, who they are, what's their passion and aptitude, and are they being held back because maybe they're misplaced in their current role, that they could do better. They would provide a better contribution in another role. So we're going to talk about that. Or if they are the right person in the role, how do you leverage that? How do you take advantage of that passion and aptitude, their skill sets, their strengths and opportunities to learn and grow? And number 3, which is one of the most important, is once you've identified the right person, you've done an analysis of your teammates, you've identified a person or two that you can start working on that fits the right caricature. How do I mentor them? What are the actions I need to take as their boss to become coaching them to the next level? You'll love what you hear, and it's really simple. It just takes some effort on your part.
So thanks for listening to this podcast. This is just 3 of the 5 secrets to developing your team for your leadership, for you to become an awesome results-driven leader. And I know you want to learn the rest of it. So let's do this. Go to our website, rdltraining.com. That's Romeo Delta Lima Training.com. Check out our online courses. Find the course on developing your team. Make that investment in yourself. You'll get the full course. You'll get all the secrets. You'll get all the tools. You get full instructions and exercises and assessments that you'll need to master your ability to develop And more importantly, delegate. Now you've got folks to delegate to. Get work off of your plate onto someone else's plate. Free up more time. Free up your stress. Free up your anxiety. If you find yourself, like I said in the beginning, firefighting all the time, working your fanny off, you need to finish this course. Sleep better at night. Have more confidence in your leadership ability and your ability to get things done right. Your people are going to respect you. Your boss is going to love you. You're going to advance your career. You're going to enjoy your job so much more as you master this skill. And the only way you're going to master is get trained on it. You don't know everything. Let's learn some stuff. So visit my website, rdltraining.com. Go to my online courses. Invest in yourself. It's a small investment with a huge ROI. Check it out. Make the investment in yourself. Take the full course. And let's get you advanced to the level you want to be able to develop, train, develop, and delegate in a way with a high level of confidence. Come on, let's do it. Thanks for listening today, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
You've been listening to The Business Mechanic with your host, Vaughn Sigmund. If your business is in need of a good tune-up, let Vaughn get under the hood and put you on the right road to success on the next episode of Vaughn Sigmund's The Business Mechanic.